No, there's obviously quite a bit of emotions. Disappointment being right at the top. Trying to think what we as a team could have possibly done better. But as I said in the post-match, there, like innings like that is just it's one of the innings that will get spoken about for a lot of years still. To get the runs like he did, he took the game on. Obviously similar to what Quinton does when he comes towards the end there, and he takes a lot of risks. And some days it pays off, and some days it don't. To hit consistently the bowlers that we have, to hit them for six over the fielders, all the risks paid off. So, yeah, I'm probably go back and think what we could have done differently. When I was out there thinking, try all the different tactics, try the spinner, try the seamers, try bringing the field up, try keeping the field down. But he just manoeuvred beautifully with the tail the whole time. He managed to get the strike. He probably faced 90% of the balls, and that's where you as opposition is trying to make sure you bowl as many balls as possible at the number 11. But he handled it so beautifully. And when we got the chance to bowl at the number 11, he didn't nick it, a couple of few past the edges there. Obviously, you want to try and hit the stumps. But on any other day, your number 11 nicks that. So, yeah, very, very disappointing sitting here, but I have to applaud him for a magnificent batting performance. I don't see that. People obviously will have their opinion. For me, that, the pressure of Test cricket is obviously, because it's a different format there. You're bowling to one player the whole time. It's just some days you got to say well played. It wasn't through our mistakes. It's not like we dropped catches when the game was on the line, or it was purely just a superhuman effort with a bat. And if that happens in 2020 cricket, white ball cricket, or one-day cricket, or in Test match cricket, that's got nothing to do with us and pressure. It's how well someone else plays. If you look at the way that he played, even with the fielders out on the boundary, he still took risks. So if he played the way that he played towards the end, then yes, you could have brought the field up. But what he did in that period when he was going from, probably when they needed 100 out still, what he was doing is he was consistently taking risks right through the over. He'd take the short ball on, hit it for six, pick Dale or Dwan or KG, pick them up for six. So if he's doing that, no matter what you do with the field, even if you bring the field up, you'll do the same. For me, it was trying to make sure we can extend that lead that we have for as long as possible, but also trying to get over on the other side to 6 balls to the new batter. And I think that's where perhaps we weren't as smart as possible. The 2 or 3 or 4 occasions that we did get a crack at the tail ender, he would get off strike within the first 2 balls. Or our bowling would be a little bit off in terms of trying to hit the stumps. As a number 11, you want to make sure you bring in all 3 dismissals, bowled, LBW and nick, not miss the stumps. Yeah, but it's good enough for any. Dale Steyn does it to the top order. It was just too good for the number 11. It was swinging past his bat, and probably a top order batter would nick those balls. But because the ball was swinging a little bit through there, he would be missing it by quite a bit. So that's why I say the focus will be to try and make sure you can hit the stumps. But yes, a new ball in hand, overcast conditions, I would back any of our fast bowlers there. Obviously Kesh bowled really well, but obviously from a left-hander perspective, he was playing the spin really well and taking that rough out the whole innings. So he played Kesh really well, and as I said, same thing with the seam bowlers. He's consistency with trying to take risks and weighing up risks, when to do it, was incredible. To hit Kesh to the long boundary, over that long boundary in the middle of over for a 6. He took a lot of risks and it paid off. He deserves all the credit he must get. I think we must focus on how good that innings was. I'm disappointed in the runs that we scored in both innings. I think we were under par with both that. We've played on harder, more difficult surfaces the last 2 years, and we scored more runs. So I thought there was an opportunity to get more runs. So for me, that's more a controllable this game, where we perhaps could have been better. The loss of Vern this morning, Vern on a wicket like that is deadly. And then lastly, I probably, if you the last conditions you want to try and play Sri Lanka on would be something like that, a very, very slow wicket. So perfectly set up for them to start their tour in South Africa on a not subcontinent pitch. But as you saw, spinner took 5 for slow conditions. Dwan wasn't as effective because the ball was stopping a lot of the pitch. So I would say they outplayed what we thought they would give us on this first match, but yeah, there wasn't much out there to work with. But for me, the upsetting thing was I think we underscored in both innings. No, definitely not. Our whole build-up to this week was that Sri Lanka is a very dangerous team. Certainly, the conversations we've had is make sure you respect opposition no matter who we are. Make sure that we train hard. Make sure we look after our basics. That's always something we are very respectful of. Or certainly the way that we as the leadership and the team speak. And I didn't feel like there was a complacency within the squad. I think we were pretty much on top for most of the test match. They were probably leaning towards us the whole time and being in a good position. Even last, 300, I would have said to you, yes, still enough runs to get them out. And then just towards, obviously, that last hour and a half, it's when things started changing around through one individual that played really well.